run 2 very strategically planned boudoir session sales each year, exactly 6 months apart. And I use these 2 sales to book out my slow season, keeping my schedule completely full every year. Today, I'm breaking down this exact annual sales strategy I use so you can do the same. Hey, boudoir photographers! Are you ready to be totally booked out with high-paying clients? I'm Tracy Lynn, and I went from side hustle photographer to running a $1 million boudoir photography business, working just 30 hours a month. That's right, just 30 hours a month. On this podcast, I tell you how I did it and how you can too. Hey there, and welcome back. Today I want to talk about my annual sales strategy. I've used it for over 6 years now, and it's very reliable. So reliable, in fact, that I use this strategy twice a year to book out my slow seasons. I run these sales twice a year, once in May around Memorial Day weekend that I call the semi-annual sale. The other is during Black Friday weekend, and I just call that my Black Friday sale, keeping it simple. I recently finished a sale and the results are in. I sold out of sales sessions, which of course I did. Honestly, I never doubted it for a second. It sells out every year without fail. But this also means that I have a guaranteed $20,000 in revenue coming in from just that one sale for the year. And when you run 2 of those sales and you have a guaranteed of $20,000 at the second sale, that means just for my sales alone, I have a guaranteed $40,000 for the year from those sales. And how do I know this? Well, this sale has a track record of album and product sales that stay within my sales average goal. Most of the boudoir sessions that book are repeat clients booking their second sessions with me, so they know exactly what to expect as far as pricing. And that makes things even easier on me since they know exactly what to expect. So let's break down this easy annual sales strategy. The first part of my easy annual sales strategy is understanding the specifics of the actual annual sale, because there is a strategy to the specifics of this kind of sale. Honestly, if you don't set the sale up exactly right, you're really leaving yourself open to the possibility of communication issues, which might result in lower sales or no sales at all, just the session fee they paid at the sale price. And a few of my coaching clients have not followed my sale specifics exactly, and they have had issues. So the specifics to this strategy are actually very important to the success of the sale. So I want to break down exactly how to set your sale up. Most importantly, you need to know when you want to allow them to book their session. If you're like me and you're using it to book up your slow season, you need to know when your slow season even is. Personally, I track my sessions by month every single month, and I have since the very start of my business. So I basically have data going back to 2016 about when I can expect slow and busy seasons. That information is what I use to decide when to allow clients to book their sessions when they're taking advantage of the sale. Now, what exactly do they get with the session? That's totally up to you, but whatever you decide, you need to make it very clear in your marketing. You can do your standard session at a discounted rate. You can include hair and makeup, but you don't have to. You can include a print credit. It's completely up to you and what you feel comfortable offering. Personally, I'm a big fan of the $99 session fee. I think it's a great number for conversions, and I've tried everything from $79 to $149, but that $99 has always booked the best for me. You also need to add anything that they need to know before they book a session. And I call this the fine print. And this is where I include things that they need to know, like that they have to have a minimum purchase, my typical client spend, so they know what to expect, when they can schedule the session, my cancellation policy, and anything else that I need them to know before the session. Make sure you do not leave anything out. I really think that the annual sales sessions are something every boudoir photographer should consider building in to your marketing strategy at the beginning of each year so that you can keep your schedule full during the slow seasons. So your schedule's full all year, really. Every time I run my sales, they're set up almost exactly the same way as the year before, with maybe a few changes here and there. Now that I've run so many of them, they take me like 30 minutes to set up each time because my systems are so built out. So with this information I've given you, how can you set it up to be a repeatable strategy? And that brings us to the second part of my easy annual sales strategy, and that's marketing. My sales sell out through my email marketing strategy, along with a few other key pieces, including blogging and social media. But my main strategy for my marketing, though, is 4 simple emails. I want you to understand this one thing, though. You cannot expect your sale to sell out through email if, one, you don't have a decent sized email list. The conversion rate isn't very high for sales, and I think the average conversion rate is around like 2%. So if you only have 50 people on your email list, you might book one session from your list specifically. And that's fine. That's actually great. But it also means that you need to be marketing in other places as well if you really want to sell out your sale. You also can't expect your sale to sell out if you're only showing up in their inbox with a sale. If this is the case, really don't expect any bookings. The leads on your email list, they're not going to trust you. You really have to nurture more than you sell with an email list. I send 60 emails a year, and 8 of these emails are selling, which means only 13% of the emails that I send are asking for money from them. The rest are giving them valuable information about how to rock their session, how to prep, where to shop, or even local vendors in the area that they should check out. Right now, we're still 4 months away from Black Friday, and that means you have plenty of time to build up your email list if you start now. If you want a successful sale this year, I would focus on building your list as soon as possible. Now let's talk about the third part of my easy annual sales strategy, and that's a great price list. Over the past month or so, I've talked a lot about pricing, but that's for good reason. A good price list will keep your sales average right at your sales average goal, which is what you need to make per session in order to hit your personal goals. So I hope at this point you've nailed down your price list, but if you haven't, make sure you check out episodes 57 and 60 specifically, which talk about how to build a price list that sells for you. Now, I do have a few words of warning before we move on. You have to be very clear with what your clients get or don't get in the sale. People who are interested in a sale are sometimes more concerned about a deal, although the longer you run this, the less likely that will be. But like I mentioned earlier, my sales average stays right at the same sales average goal as my regular sessions. So as you build this up over the years, I think you'll be able to expect the same. Another thing you need to do is make sure that you're very, very clear about the minimum purchase for your annual sale and what the typical client spends. That way, they're fully prepared when they walk into your studio. Also, know that you're going to have annoying clients, just like some of your regular clients might annoy you as well. And that's okay. Deal with them as you would any other client. It is not because they're sale clients, it's just part of the game. Be professional and treat them just like you would any other client. Let any frustrating client, no matter if it's a sales session or not, roll off like raindrops on a windshield and focus on your great clients. Now moving on to the fourth part of my easy annual sales strategy, and that's automating everything. You can automate this entire sale. Don't waste your holiday weekend dealing with sending invoices and contracts and scheduling sessions, because believe me, I've had to do it, and it kind of takes away from what your holiday is really all about. Instead, automate everything so you can enjoy your time off with your family, which is what you should be doing anyway. You built this business for freedom, not to be working your weekends away. Find the right software and you'll be able to automate your entire annual sale with a simple code and set it up fully. And make sure you tune in next week because I'm actually going to talk about the software that I recommend. But most of all, I want you to understand and remember you are going to gain momentum the longer you run these sales. The first one might be a flop. That's okay. Now you have everything set up and ready to go for the next round. Think about how much faster it will be to set up when you run it next time, and you will for sure sell even more sessions that round, especially if you are focusing on your email list. And then just imagine the next round and even the next round. It's going to only get better from here. Very rarely are these things successful the first time, and that's okay. What's important is that it's all working and it will grow every year. If you get just one thing from this episode, I want you to understand that running sales doesn't have to be a bad thing. I know the stigma around it over the years, like educators saying that sales aren't luxurious or they make you look cheap. To me, I think well thought out strategic sales are a great way to get the fence sitters to finally take action and book a session. That's exactly what I use these sales for, to get the leads who are reading all my emails, thinking about it, but they just haven't booked yet. And even my past clients who've thought about another session but just haven't done it yet, they finally booked their session with these sales. They want it, they just needed a reason to jump in. And the annual sale gives them that reason. Otherwise, they probably would have waited until they just didn't book a session ever at all. They just will wait and wait and wait because they always have an excuse. And what's even better is the longer you run these sales, the more popular they get, the higher your sales average gets. If you're considering running a sale for Black Friday, right now is the time to start building your email list so you have a bigger audience to sell to in November. And I have just the thing to make your life easier, and that is my TLC freebie template. With this email freebie template, you get a proven design that clients actually want to build and grow your email list so you can turn leads into clients at your Black Friday sale this year. It is not too early to start building your email list. And it's never too late, to be honest. With this TLC freebie template, I also give you an instructional video to make designing it so much easier. The link is in the show notes, so be sure to check it out. Thank you for listening to this episode of Sustainable Freedom with Boudoir Photography. Please be sure to rate and follow so that you never miss an episode. They drop every Thursday and they're always full of super actionable information for you to apply right now in your boudoir business. Until then, make your next shoot your best shoot.